everyone. Welcome to Indigenous Superstars. My name's Rhonda, coming live to you from Beaulieu, Manitoba, the heart of Opaskwayak Cree Nation. And I just want to say hi to everybody and welcome everyone here tonight. And I know it's a beautiful day out here in Manitoba, and I'll be really surprised if we get some people watching from Manitoba, because it's such a nice, beautiful day out. And also want to mention today is our sixth day of days in Manitoba where we have been COVID free. So I want to give a big shout out to everyone in Manitoba, because we've been working real hard all together to keep our COVID numbers down. And we're sending prayers out to all over the world for this pandemic to end really soon. So the reason why I started this show is to promote our Indigenous musicians, because all of our gigs got canceled, and it's really it's a real crazy time right now. And I also want to talk about I have an upcoming show on Thursday with Brain Tumor Foundation, and it's at 2:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we just walked the virtual Brain Tumor Foundation walk here in my community of Opaskwayak Cree Nation, and it was a really great turnout. And so they asked me to perform as part of their concert series. So I'm really looking forward to that. So if you can tune in on Thursday at 2:00 p.m. on Central Standard Time, and I have a really awesome guest tonight. He's a awesome country singer, and he's a beautiful man, and I'm really proud to call him my friend. And his name is Gator Beaulieu, and I'll just read his bio. Gator is a singer, songwriter, entertainer from Ebb and Flow and Sandy Bay First Nation, Manitoba. Gator is passionate about country music, blues, jazz, and rock and roll. In his earlier years, Gator was inspired by Johnny Cash, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Merle Haggard, to name a few, like A Boy and His Dog. Gator and his guitar were inseparable. Gator has competed in talent shows across Manitoba and started playing bars, pubs, restaurants, parties, and socials at the age of 18. Now in his late 20s, Gator is a husband and a father of 3 and enjoys the balance of family life and the music life. So I'm going to bring on the awesome Gator. Hi, Gator. You're on.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hey, good.
So I see you're in your vehicle.
I'm in my mobile studio here. I got
Cool.
my son here.
Hi.
My audio engineer here.
Well, we got to teach him young, right?
Oh yeah, he's definitely my mini me.
Awesome. Right on. So I'm just gonna ask you. So I just want to tell the audience that we first met in Milwaukee. Remember, at the Indian Summer Music Awards? That was a lot of fun that time, and they had like really big stages, and we were all performing there, and it was so much fun.
It set the bar for my imagination, I'll tell you that much at that age.
Yeah, I guess so. Like the stages were huge, and they had 3 stages going, and it was so awesome. It was a great experience, that's for sure.
You won an award too, didn't you?
I was nominated that time, but I didn't win that year. But I did win
I
Native
remember
American,
having.
Indian Summer Music Award. Yeah, I did win one.
I remember
Or
watching your taking making sure I had an authentic old Milwaukee beer and an authentic Miller Lite there while watching you score there. I remember that. I can remember that. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
And we also recently worked together with the Manitoba Arts Network Showcase in Gimli.
that's right. This past
Yep,
October.
yep. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience there?
Yeah, the Manitoba Arts Showcase. It's I'll use an overused statement. It was definitely mind opening. It was eye opening, and it was just a great overall experience. And then the level of the level of professionals, the level of professionals that were the level of caliber, the professionalism that were the people that were there, and that were also that we were able to network amongst showed me that just how much being humble goes a long way at every level of this thing. I guess what we're all a part of the music circle, so it was really comforting to know that everybody's supportive, because we had some pretty darn damn good jams there.
Yeah, it
For
was
sure.
great. It was a great
With a lot of
weekend
people,
for sure.
I still talk to a lot of the people that we met there, and then just the business side of things too, and an aspect in regards to how to network yourself as a musician, and market yourself as a musician, promote, and just how to be innovative. I got a lot of that, and just yeah, I got a lot out of that there thing. So it was a really good experience.
That's awesome. So with that, we're gonna go into your first song. So I'm gonna give you the screen.
All right, cool. I'm gonna keep as I keep doing this thing here. The song's called Highway Number 6. I just recently released it. It's I recorded Pinkbox Studio with Randy Hebert and Vaughn Poiser, and over at Maddox again with Mr. Randy. And my son was had the opportunity to be in the studio with us. My mom was in there too with us. But a little bit of Highway Number 6. Rolling along the Highway Number 6, making my way back to the States. Window down, out of this town, racing away from these city lights tonight. Rolling along the Highway Number 6, making my way back home. Gonna see my mom, gonna see my pa. Guess things are getting a little better from here. Well, the country's where my heart is. The country is my home. The country's where my heart is. The country is my soul. Back in the city, well now it seems all these bright lights and city streets won't be long till I'm back again, rolling along the Highway Number 6. Well, country's where my heart is. Country is my home. Country's where my heart is. Country is my soul. Yeah, country's where my heart is. Country is my soul. Right on. That's Highway Number 6.
Awesome.
Yes,
Thanks for sharing that. So can you tell us where that song came from? Like what inspired you to write that song?
Well, I wrote the song a while ago, and and I'm really glad to have recorded it now because see, I growing up, I lived in Evan-Flow, Brandon, Winnipeg, Norrie House, and I moved around a lot due to my parents' professions and whatnot, and so I was fortunate enough to really dive into the wherever I was, wherever we lived, the culture there. So getting a taste of Southern culture, my own hometown's culture. Then when we lived in Norrie House, I got a taste of Cree culture. That much Cree. A lot of my friends were the local elders, so So I had a lot of fun going to visit. I grew up learning how to visit from my parents, right? That old Indian way of visiting. Because growing up, we'd be on the powwow trail quite a bit. So writing this song I in the third verse of that, the last verse of that tune, I like to make mention is when I'm back in the city. Like I'm a city boy now. It feels like because obviously I live in the city now, but when you grow up the way I did, and a lot of people can relate, that doesn't just leave you. And to have the spirit of the northern Manitoba and spirit of southern Manitoba live inside you, that's what this song is all about to me, right? And it's about that bridge, and the Highway Number 6 is that bridge for me between the south and the north. So that's just my own personal connection to that. If I was to be over philosophical about it.
That's cool. Well, Highway number 6 is a long stretch of highway in Manitoba that a lot of northern people use to travel down south to Winnipeg. So so that like just letting our audience know about the location and what highway that song is named after. So you went to your bio says that you attended a lot of talent shows. Can you tell us about that circuit?
Absolutely. It started off when I was about 8 years old. My mom entered me in back then they called it Dakota Ojibwe Tribal Days. So in 1998 karaoke, I came third in the karaoke contest. But there were three contestants only, anyway, so I took third.
Cool.
But it started up. I've been doing a lot of the talent shows since I was a kid because I started picking up the guitar and learning how to sing. Same time, my brother Dusty learned how to play the fiddle. So my mom would actually when we were living in Norrie House, we'd be traveling down south to different reserves all around southern Manitoba, all around northern Manitoba. My brother would enter the fiddle competitions, and I'd enter the singing competitions. So I've been doing this quite half my life already now doing this
That's cool.
off and on things like that. So it's very cool because to me it's like going to powwows. You know what I mean? It's just like another version of powwow season to me. It's talent show season.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, there's quite a few talent shows right across Manitoba and actually right across Canada, right?
Yeah.
So what was the best? What was your best win in the talent show circuit?
So far, that'd be the PA OCN last year. I took home the gold there in the talent show there. So that was quite something. And actually just during the COVID here, I wanted a reminder of who the hell Gator was. So I had to watch that. I went and watched that video, and it says, "There he is."
That's awesome. Right on.
Yeah, that had to be one of the highlights of my talent show circuit last year. But having my wife and my son come along last year to a lot of them, like the majority of them, and then my daughters were actually able to come along to Evan-Flow, so they were able to experience that too.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it can be lonely traveling when you're a musician, right? Yeah. So that's awesome your family got to travel with you. So the other question I have for you is like where do you get your inspiration to write your music? And how did you become uh inspired to be a musician?
Um, I pull, it's like a spider web, right, Ethan? Ethan? Sorry, my boy's here with me here. But what inspires me is you know, if I was to be at the center of a spider web and you'd see the different kinds of spider webs going out, or if you ever look at a tree and you see the different roots stem out, you know, I like to think of myself as the center of that tree, and the different roots are different kinds of inspiration. So it's not just one or two or even 10 things. It's my life's journey. It's music's always been a part of my just my life, because at about five I started dancing in the power circle. I was about 5 years old. Me and my brother were brought in that power circuit back home at Evanflow in the early 90s there, and I was I learned I used to I used to drum hop a lot, and I had real good mentors like Neil Hall. He's passed on already to the spirit world there. The Red Wind Singers, and just different many mentors in that in the cultural aspect, and knowing that power and just my culture, knowing that part, and then also knowing the I guess the Métis part, I suppose, where it comes to the fiddling and the home party, like the old style parties of old time country music, old time fiddle music. So we grew up with a lot, seeing some of that, and then listening to a lot of the stories. I my dad's a storyteller, and so is my mom's an educator as well. So it's having a kind of like a life's learning, a life's worth of learning from what I consider some of the uh, best of both worlds. I'm learning how to utilize that. I suppose has really helped me put put words down, because I also like reading the dictionary a lot. So it's really fun doing that. But my latest tune that my next single I'm going to be releasing is a song. And what inspired me there was I guess a rough patch in my 20s there, and the fact that my wife still married me after all that. So this song was kind of a song. I like to call it a drinking song about not drinking. So that'll be the next tune I do too.
Oh,
So
that's awesome. So when are you planning to release that?
we'll see. We'll see about that, I suppose. I'm just kind of learning as I go with the release of this Highway Number 6 here. You know, doing
Oh,
it
yeah. Yep.
and whatnot. And then going back to that October showcase, you know, what I got from there too, from the mentors and the mentors we had, you know, Desiree and Jace. You know, we're still being able to reach out and ask questions. Also, yeah, you know, and when it comes to certain music things, you know, and you know, it was really fortunate to had the help we have, because I feel that I have come a long way as an artist myself, for sure.
Awesome. That's
Yeah,
good to hear. So one of the viewers is asking, who is your favorite local artist?
my favorite local artist.
Mhm.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to say, because he's very entertaining to watch every time. Yeah, his name is Jamie Buckaroo. I'm a fan of that guy. I'd say he's one of the top 10, but I got like a handful of local artists, because I'm constantly checking out different live music venues. That's why it killed me when this COVID thing stopped too, because I was like, oh my god, because I like being very diverse, and my what I listen to and what kind of scenes, and anything from the hardcore scene, the country, to the local whatnot. So, but the guy who's really enjoyable to watch is that Jamie Buckaroo, because he usually Yeah, they those guys usually hang around Osborne too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that leads me to my next question. Like um I'm sure you lost gigs during because of COVID. So
Yeah.
how are you keeping busy during this time?
Well, fortunately, I I've got my kids to keep my time on my time well occupied, as you could tell. But no, it's really good. I've I've, uh, I've been optimistic about it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
um, with a lot of with the way my history with a lot with yeah, with, yeah, I guess it's been tough. If you want to get real about it, it's been a bit tough. But everybody, just like everybody, where everybody's managing, and then, you know, when you look for the hopeful stories out there, when you're because when you're looking at your screen and looking at the news and stuff like that, you see I never really knew how good a feel good story would sound like that that. Just to see how everybody else is doing and see how everybody else relates to you. You know what I mean? So it's like finding the balance and thing with everything else in life. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I'm on a video here. Excuse me. Yeah, dog security here. Yeah.
Okay, well, are you ready for your next song?
Yeah, I'm ready for my next song here. This guy's got his loud engine on here. AC's on. He's fortunate to have AC.
Okay, I'm giving you the screen.
My mom's been training me for this moment since the 90s. We don't need the AC. Just kidding. Well, anyways, this next song is called "Devil's Looking for a Reason." It's also but it's also called "The Devil's Vice." But it's a song with a story that's pretty easy to tell its own. So here's a little bit of that here. I keep looking for a reason, holding on. I can't seem to stop my head from turning around and around. Yeah, I'm looking for a reason, keep holding on. 'Cause it feels like there's nothing left to lose with the whiskey devil around. I've been told I'm out of my mind. I always thought I needed something in my brain. Yeah, it felt like life was happening to me. Yeah, I saw you standing by with a broken mind and misery. I keep looking for a reason, keep holding on, 'cause I can't seem to stop my head from around and around. Yeah, I keep looking for a reason, put that bottle down, 'cause it feels like nothing left to lose with the whiskey devil around. My baby, she still loves me. She does the best that she can. While I'm out here playing crazy. After all I've done, just I'm on fire and messing with the devil. I keep looking for a reason, keep holding on, 'cause I can't seem to stop my head around and around. Yeah, I'm looking for a reason, put that bottle down. feels like there's nothing left to lose. Drinking whiskey, careful around. Yeah, that one, inspiration from that one came from, I guess, the inside of a jail cell.
That's an awesome song. I love it. I just want to tune to it. I can't wait till you release it. That's a really good
Going to
sound.
show
I like
everybody.
that. Yeah, that's an awesome song. Thank you for sharing that. That was
Awesome.
really cool. Cool.
I will say.
So where can
Yeah, I got stopped by security
where
there.
can
He's gone now.
okay, where can the audience find your music online?
You can find my music on iTunes, Spotify, be on Amazon Music. It's also on YouTube, CD Baby, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. It's also on previewed on manitobamusic.com/Gator Beaulieu on my website, Gator Beaulieu. And yeah, I'm always trying to do my best to update my fan page on Facebook and try to keep up to date with all my social media. So yeah,
Cool. You're on
I've got quite
Instagram
a bit
too?
coming out. Yeah, I wish I was able to make it to my home studio in time here, but daddy duty calls there back home too with my babies there. So
Well,
sometimes just glad we got some sunlight here. We got some kick ass lighting, that's for sure.
yeah, that's right. So I just want to acknowledge the people that have signed on and that have been watching the show and they're all commenting how great your voice is. And they love the songs that you shared and they're saying that you're very talented and so yeah, it's a really good response from the audience. And thank you for
Right on.
tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. And do you have any final words you want to say?
Yeah, I also want to acknowledge Billy Joe Green for giving me my first crack at studio experience. He asked me to be on his album that he recently released, the Featherman Family. There, Billy Joe Green and Friends. So I recorded his first single called "Hard Hearted Woman." So I was able to be on that with him there, and he also with on the playing the steel was Dan Russell on that one too. So I really always like to make mention that Billy Joe Green. He was actually there for my first gig as a band. So because my I put together a band and kind of fell through right away after the first night, and I know I made some out of I just made some calls out of the blue. I says, I'm just gonna call him. What's the worst he can do? Say no. So I said, hey Billy Joe Green, it's Gator Beaulieu. Hey man, I need a guitarist. yeah, I can do it. So he's always been a
Well,
guy to believe in me there. So I always I really want to
that's
say
so awesome.
big thanks to Billy Joe Green, and you can find his music on the same platforms as well. So
Yeah, that's cool, and it's really awesome that our well, call them the legends, I guess that they give us those
Legend of
opportunities.
Blues.
Yeah, like they paved the way for a lot of us, and that's really a great story that you shared that he like mentored you and took you under his wing and believed in you,
Yeah,
and that's what a lot of our Indigenous artists need too. It's so important. Yep.
and on a business end too, Buffy Handel at the Aboriginal School of Dance for years. She's been taking me under her wing and too, and helping me mold my kind of my business mind too, and it was one of the inspirations for me to go to school too, back to school for a brief period of time. Sorry, I've got long hair now, and it's so weird. I'm so used to short hair, so, so I'm constantly going, oh.
It looks
Yeah.
nice. Probably gonna look great when it keep growing it. It looks good.
No, I feel like I look like George Leach.
I had him on the show last month. He was pretty
I
awesome.
know. I'm like a
Yeah.
super fan of that guy since I was watching him on
Um,
APTN as
he's so awesome. He's actually my adopted brother, and I love him. So
right
we're
on,
gonna
Rod.
end the show. Yeah, so we're gonna end the show, and I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your talent with all of us and some of your awesome stories. And hi. What's your son's
That's
name?
my boy Ethan here. Look, this is
Hi.
Ethan here.
Hi, Ethan.
Say hi. He's eating
Hi.
himself some Timbits here.
So, hi. So I want to tell everyone in Manitoba, good job for keeping the COVID numbers down, and stay safe, stay healthy. My next guest on Thursday is the talented Leah Hopkins, who sings American roots folk style. So she's a really awesome musician too. That I'm sure you'll enjoy her music and her interview. So signing off,
Awesome.
Sagitin. Hi hi.
Hey, Witch.
Hi.